Hey guys. We're not showing up yet, but we will be in just a minute.
Now we are.
Okay, you can see it. Why can't I? Why? What's going on? That's so weird. It's not showing up on my phone. Oh, now there we are. Wow, that's weird. Anyways, hi guys. So, sorry, delayed reaction. Hi, Selena and Hillary and Debbie. How are you ladies today? And I see Carla and Rachele in there. Cortney says she feels bad because she can't type, but she says hi. So today's topic, all about aliens, right? The aliens among us is going to be the hashtag that we use. Okay. And I checked to see whether or not there were any other like hashtags around. But there are like some documentaries and ancient astronaut stuff under aliens among us. So I suggest watching that stuff too.
Yeah.
You know. So the first thing I wanted to get into was, and let me see if I can pull it up. Carla, when we were talking yesterday, when we were chatting, she goes, "Oh, this just came across my feed." And yeah, so let me see if I can copy it. Oops. Yep. And let me see if I can paste it in here. Because there is currently a what is it? Congress hearing on UFOs, and well, earlier when I checked, it was still live, and it started live yesterday, I think. And it says that the Trump administration says that America can handle the truth. So, if you want to check that out, right? Now, this takes me back to several years ago. The three of us did a video. And it was all about aliens. Do you remember, ladies? It was one of our sisterhood chats.
It was one of our very early ones.
Yep.
I think it was like 4 or 5 years ago. And we said that they were going to start showing like stuff like this. It was going to start becoming part of the mainstream. And here we are.
Yep.
You know, and has been for what, a couple of years at least now.
Yeah.
And it's getting more and more so, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So check that out if you get a chance, if you care to, right?
Yeah.
They're pretty much talking about disclosure.
Yeah, they've been setting us up for something.
Right. Let me see who else came in. We got Lady Blind Wolf. Hi, sweetheart. And we've got Summer. Hi, sweetie. And we've got Moon Rain. Hi, Moon Rain. I just seen your video earlier today. I think I commented. Sometimes I watch stuff on other things while I'm getting around and stuff like that, so I go back and comment later. But it was under your tags, Sissy.
Mm-hmm.
Her video was so good, and she used geomancy. Go and check it out, guys. Oh my gosh,
Phenomenal!
It was so friggin' good, and I love geomancy. We have Carolina. Hi, beautiful. And we have Star, the Wild Witch. Hello, beautiful. All right.
See you guys. I was gonna leave it up to try to see the chat so I could, but it's messing with the lighting really bad. So.
Oh, gotcha. All right. So there's talk that New Age, that alien stuff is like New Age stuff. What do you guys think about aliens being New Age stuff? What do you think about that?
I think it's uneducated and ridiculous.
I think so too. Yeah.
You think it's just part of the current, like it's a new thing that they're depicting aliens and stuff like that?
I think a lot of people believe it's a new thing.
Right.
Yeah.
But we did a little bit of research ourselves, right? Although we knew a lot of this anyways, because we are people that love alien stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, secretly it's cloaked, but we all have our hats on, right?
Oh, absolutely. We've been researching this stuff for since I
Yes.
met you, you know?
Yeah, exactly. So
Yep.
I asked my Lilith to take a look at the several different, and she just went down, slightly, just did some slight stuff for ancient alien sightings or information about, what ancient civilizations recorded alien sightings. Just so we have an understanding of what civilizations, because you hear it, like Sumerian, but were there other ones? Well, we've got the Sumerians that were definitely the Anunnaki, were said to be like sky people, right?
Mhm.
Ancient Egypt, they were called the Shining Ones,
Mhm.
and they had sky boats. The ancient Indians talks about in their Vimanas or in the Vimanas, which is in the Mahabharata and the Mayana and the Vaimanika. I'm sure I did not say that right. Shastra accounts of aliens. The Dogon people, so the Dogon tribe from Mali and Africa, they talk about Sirius visitors, so people from Sirius visiting them. All of these, so the ancient Sumerians, the time period for this and their writings was from 4500 to 1900 BCE. So we're talking over 6,000 years ago. Okay, like 6,500 years ago. Is that new? No. The ancient Egyptians recorded from, and it was recorded on their pyramid text, it was recorded on their coffin text, temple carvings, you name it. And that was from 3100 to 30 BCE. So roughly 5,000 to 5,200 years ago. Ancient India, this was from 500 BC to 400 CE. The Dogon tribe, that was, well, it's oral traditions from thousands of years, but it was in the 1900s that people had been in contact over the 20th century. Mesoamerica civilizations called the sky serpent. That was the Mayas, the Aztecs, the Toltecs, the Olmecs. Ancient China, they had flying dragons and celestial chariot, right? The Aboriginal Australians, the Wangina beings is what they were called. Native American legends, we have in the Lakota Sioux, we have in the Hopi, the Zuni, and the Cherokee, all different sky people legends and different names for those sky people. So that was just to show you the common threads between all of those were celestial teachers that we had, and even in the Bible, we looked at that as well. If you think about the angels or even the fallen angels, they were teaching us different things about like agriculture and looking at omens in the sky and all of that, right?
Weapons, makeup, yeah.
So was that angels or was that extraterrestrials, right? What's the difference? Is there any difference? So what do you
I
guys?
believe them to be other dimensional beings or extraterrestrials. And I feel like these civilizations were talking about this. Absolutely. When you look at all of this, the civilizations you were talking about, there's some books out there. There's a lot of people when you do deep research. What was the name of that one guy we all watch on
Well,
the
Wallace.
Yes, he is brilliant to listen to. He really opened my eyes up to a lot too. Just all of the evidence we have that we can look back on really suggests that all of the gods, demons, angels, even some cryptids, I feel like, are probably extraterrestrial or interdimensional beings. And I feel that way personally in my work too.
I think so. I feel the same way. What do you think, Sissy?
We were talking about it earlier with, language. So much gets lost in translation that if you go back and you even look at like original words are meant to mean something, that we might take as alien characteristics. And then, a lot of things get lost in translation, but I believe that, like the Elohim, and I think what Paul Wallace definitely is alluding to is that they were dragon like. Seraphim, they were serpent like, winged serpents. I think of the Ajiji. So I think, if you're looking at the commonalities between these mythologies, then you will see we're all talking about something very similar, which is something from the sky came to the earth, or it was here before we were. One or the other.
In my father's Native American tribes, they talk about the Oneida Nations and that they were at war with each other, the clans, until this serpent-like teacher came and taught like peace and democracy and all these other things as the stories go. And I've even heard of other Native American groups here in the South, stories of when they were at war, they had invisible beings that would help them as well. They had the technology to cloak themselves, and they came from the sky.
Right.
And
I'm
even
sorry.
in Norse, no, I'm sorry. Even in Norse mythology, all the serpents, the dragon Fafnir, the serpents that chew at the bottom of the tree, Yggdrasil, what is it alluding to? You have Leviathan, then you have Jormungandr. So it's literally everywhere in every culture and civilization.
So Summer says here, a lot of fairy stuff also talks of people seeing lights, and alien is basically what not from here. So interdimensional is also fae, laughing my ass off. So here's the thing. We were just talking earlier. The Tuatha De Danann, or Tuatha De Danann, however you pronounce it, they were said in the old legends to have appeared in a flying or a ship that was on the clouds or within the mist. Not that it was on the water, right? I made a video about this freaking 5 or 6 years ago about the alien and the Tuatha connection, even down to the different like the sword of destiny and all that. It's intermingled, right? I
Right.
love it.
You got gods on chariots, you have like celestial things like the wolves that chase the sun and moon. These are all symbolic to me for like ships or other beings out there. You have like in Ragnarok, like I told you guys earlier, there is a ship that's supposed to come, and some of the giants are talked about in a way where they're from another dimension, or the elves or the 9 worlds. The elves were described as like light beings, like the fae. And I just think it's pretty, pretty evident.
Essentially, it is in every friggin' culture I think that we have ever had on
Yeah.
Earth. This is nothing new. It seems like modern stuff tries to discredit until like recently. Because I mean, if you were a whistleblower or said anything, 50 years ago, you were
Yeah, you were in trouble.
blacklisted, you were threatened, yada, yada. We have stories of that. Now there's just no denying it because we're so connected. There's constantly videos that are happening. And I also think that that's part of the agenda also, right?
Oh,
Because
yeah.
they have to control the agenda now.
If you can't beat it, they're going to control the narrative at least.
Right, exactly. But I also did a comparison of what the description of God in the Bible was, right? And then I did another thing, wondering about the description of the Sumerians or the Anunnaki, right? Which is the oldest known writing that we have right now. is from the Sumerians. So the Anunnaki, human-like but greater, tall in stature, often portrayed as giant-like compared to humans, a trait echoed in later legends. Human form, they had human-like bodies, all of the head, yada, yada, yada. They had the beards, the long beards, and the hair that they kept up really nice, braided, crown or horned headdress, which I find very interesting because a lot of those similarities seem very closely related to the Norse similarities as well. And the horn also, horns, was like the devils, right? With the devil, right? Or demons. Radiance and power, they were known as glowing or shining flesh. The Sumerians used the word melem for the supernatural radiance or aura of gods. Their eyes were like fire sometimes. Some mythic passages say that their gaze could paralyze mortals. And they had a voice of thunder, right? Which also in the Bible, it talks about God having a voice that was so loud and thunderous when he was communicating like with Abraham, or was it Noah? Both of them maybe. Often described as speaking with like a roar, Then we've got other things that say hybrid or winged forms. So winged figures, many are shown with large eagle-like wings, possibly denoting their status as winged beings or their ability to descend from the heavens. So their ability, maybe they had flying ships. So maybe they depicted them with wings because of that. Or maybe they really, if they were shining, the shining ones, like what is talked about in the Bible, the Elohim, which is what God was in plural form. Again, I suggest going over to Paul Harris's or Paul Willis. I'm getting the name wrong. Over to his channel, and we will put links down below too. He's also got the Fifth Kind. That's also his channel.
Right.
And then the clothing and tools. Now, if you look at a lot of the clay, and we talked about this earlier also, a lot of the clay tablets or hieroglyphs, I guess you would say, cuneiform, I don't know. But you would see the depictions of them with pine cones and with little handbags.
Yep.
So I was wondering if in that handbag, they kept some of the elixirs that they would drink, because in the book of Enki, the lost books of Enki, they talked about a serum or like some sort of potion or drink that they would drink in order to keep them younger because of the effects of our sun in comparison to the effects of their atmosphere on Nibiru.
Right.
So
I wonder too, like you have, say, like Catholic rituals or other rituals, there's always a chalice involved too. And I can't help but wonder about some of these things being passed down symbolically, like ritualistically, just like priests sometimes had pine cones on staves, like the Druids and others. Have we imitated what we've seen from these entities coming down from the sky and assumed they were gods?
I think that the chalice definitely represents blood and bloodline, regardless. It's just all about the blood. So
Yeah.
if we've got hibernation in our blood, then that's a kind of, I mean, we've heard the conspiracy theories of, certain people having like physical capabilities, like I'm saying it wrong, like the elites, the royals having a certain blood type, and
with
we
certain
also,
abilities that come along with that.
well, and I'm not really just thinking that, but now the whole thing with like how do they stay so young, and you know what I mean? And that's about blood too. It's like I think that the chalice is very symbolic and allegory for blood.
Right, which is also said to be a life force. So I was wondering, like an elixir of life,
Yeah.
if there was any, do you think?
Yeah, I mean, when you even look at the the Greeks and like Mount Olympus, the gods, they had a certain ambrosia that they
Yeah.
drank,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
That makes you wonder. And now, then in the Bible, it talks about manna. What was manna? That it would fall from the sky in the desert when there was no other food, and that would sustain them. And it was supposedly given by God, right? What was that?
Right.
Was it some sort of device that created this kind of elixir from, let's say, a certain kind of herb that was found here on the earth, right?
Yeah. I also wonder about like the Tower of Babel, for example. I don't think it was a tower. I think we were inventing a type of technology that could take you to the sky. And they didn't want that because, you know, they could become like us, gods like us, you know, that whole thing. And when you really get into like the stories of the Anunnaki with the Bible and you start kind of comparing things, I've always wondered about the Tower of Babel because I'm like, it doesn't make sense. You're going to build a tower to heaven, to the sky. I look at it symbolically, and it makes sense to me that maybe they were trying to do that. We're still trying to do that, you know, even make it to the moon. And it's almost like something always happens and we're not able to go further. And I really question, like, why?
I wonder if the Tower of Babel, I mean, obviously there can be tons of theories and speculation,
Right.
right? But I wonder if it's not some sort of device that gave us the ability to clone like what they did and create,
Oh,
right?
that's a good one.
Like an eternal life kind of thing, right? And or maybe the ability to transfer consciousness, something
Yeah,
like that. I don't know. I do find it all extremely thrilling,
right,
exciting. We've even had like Christopher Columbus, when he was coming over in his logs, they had mentioned that seeing like a light or whatever. And
right,
military whistleblowers have talked about them seeing actual UFOs that have come right up out of the water and or going into the water, you know. So our oceans are so completely unexplored because there's certain areas that we just can't go, right? Or
right,
our inner earth. I mean, to think that we are not, that they are not among us, in my opinion, is very naive.
right.
But if you even look at us, right, are we not proof of some sort of hybridization? Because we all have different blood types. And even Carla, when what you were just saying about I can't remember exactly what it was, but like diets, okay? Like certain
Oh,
people, if
yeah.
you're like an O positive or if you're an A, different diets are better for you. So does that come down also to like the ambrosia, depending on what kind of hybrid being you're from? There's certain things that are good for your body and certain things that are bad for your body.
Mm-hmm.
Because two
Yeah,
people cannot even always have the same diet. And one would be healthy for one person and not healthy for another.
it's very true. You know, they say A positive, you're supposed to eat more vegetarian, and that actually is true for me. My body reacts better when I'm like eating vegetables and more fruit, you know, things like that. Versus if I eat meat, I feel heavy and I feel very, you know,
What, Sissy, do you know what it's supposed to be for O positive? Is it more
Uh,
protein?
yes, definitely more meat and meat for O positive. Definitely, yeah.
And you
We're
know
the
what?
carnivorous.
I can't because then I get gout. I
Yeah.
can't. The majority of what I eat as far as meat goes is chicken. We joke around all the time. Jim's like, well, what are we having? I'm like, I'm having chicken. What are you having tonight? Because he can eat whatever, right? And it doesn't bother him, but I can't. I cannot eat that stuff. I wish I could because it tastes so damn good, but I can't.
I would imagine there's exceptions, you know what I mean? Or
yeah,
like if yeah, anything in if you eat too much of it, it's going to have an effect on your body. But I think that like generalizing, oh, are the meat eaters.
Right. Yeah. So Debbie says we're missing so much. You guys are talking so much. Oh my gosh. I love it. I love it. She said from the book of Ezekiel. I wonder what it was from the book of Ezekiel. That's how they can be so fast, facing in and out.
Mm-hmm. It's interesting because, like, going back to the ocean thing, was it NASA? I can't remember, but I think it was NASA, guys. Correct me if I'm wrong. They were exploring the ocean, right? And then they got so far and they were like, nope, we're going to go to space now. Like, I wonder why the abrupt stop. Did they come across like a lab or an entire civilization down there of extraterrestrials? I think they did.
I know it sounds crazy. I know it does, but I do believe that we have whole civilizations down in the water. I believe we have whole civilizations in the inner earth. I mean,
I agree.
And I know it sounds crazy, but where do all these legends come from? Even of like mermaids and sirens. They're not just particular to one area of the earth. They come from all over. Right?
Right.
There's
And
something
I
to
don't know.
it.
Could you
Yeah, there's
imagine
nothing
like
new age about it.
no.
So, one of the things that we were talking about was this narrative that the end times is also coming, okay? And with the alien stuff and the end times, it's like a whole thing is being spun. And the reason why I don't fall for that anymore is because I have lived through a couple of them and I was like so convinced that the end was coming. I was so convinced of it. And then it came and went. And then I thought, okay, well, maybe it's coming this next time with this one. And it came and went. I don't fall for it anymore. You fool me once, shame on them. You fool me twice, shame on me. Okay. So I don't fall for that anymore. And when I asked, yet again, love my AI. God, I'm sorry, I just do. When I ask, because it's so much information at your fingertips, right? And of course, check it, but it's compiling from the web and all that, right? Just like a Google, it's just more of an amped up search, right?
Right.
So when I asked, how many times has there been like prophecies, world ending, over 200 different end of the world things have come and gone. Over 200 since about 1,000 years ago. Over 200 times when it said it was going to and it didn't. So does it start to seem like it's maybe an agenda in order to keep the people in a fear state all the time? If that's what it always
Absolutely.
is?
We are so focused as a society, like in the whole world. And we know where that comes from. But from the moment you're born, you're told, the end is coming. The end's coming. There's going to be some sort of apocalyptic event, whether it's, religious in nature. That's the common one, that, the return of Jesus and all this is going to happen, and revelations and such. And I think it is a very fear-based thing to keep us in a certain state of fear at all times. Watch what you're doing every day and at all times, because if you commit a sin, it's going to be the end for you. It keeps us in a certain frequency.
It's
Yes,
easier
it
to
does.
control with fear. When
Yeah.
people are in fear, they look for direction, they look for guidance. Who better than your government? They can save you. They have all of the resources, they can help you. So, yeah, absolutely. Keep you in fear base, it's easier to control.
Absolutely. And divide you, because most of the division, it stems from fear of something.
Yeah,
Carla
because when
eats
you're
Wendy's.
divided,
Did you
when
see
you're
her?
divided, they also have whoever you're divided against to help them control.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Yes.
I want Wendy's. That Baconator hits, though.
God, I can't eat bacon. I wish I could because I really like bacon, but I can't.
I like bacon. Bacon.
God, I haven't had like pork or beef in 10 years, I think.
Me too, Selena.
And see, I'm just shriveling up to nothing. Yeah, right. Right. Yes. In general, they put a lot of bad stuff in our foods.
Mhm.
Yes, they
Oh,
Yeah.
do.
yeah.
Yes.
I'm lucky. My other half is a farmer, and we raise our own beef and chicken and stuff. So I mean, we don't have to
Awesome.
worry about he don't use hormones or nothing like that. So it's all literally grass fed, corn fed. Yeah, no
Oh,
chemical,
That's
nothing
perfect.
added. Yeah, and very lean. So yeah,
that's
Yeah.
awesome.
it is. I'm very grateful.
I have a customer that's so nice and he brings us up fresh vegetables from his garden. But I'd like to find a place I could get some meat from. But
So,
absolutely.
what I want to do is for this particular month, because it's not just an alien conversation this time, it's our work for August. And we're all pretty much spent. And I know that the majority of you that are doing all this work right along with us, you guys are pretty spent as well. And you got busy lives, and that's just the way it is, right? And sometimes, although it is fun stuff like aliens, we still just don't want to take on a whole bunch. We had big plans, and I was just like, you know, we don't want. So I did come up with a spread with the help of my Lilith. And we do want to have people talk about their experiences. So we are creating a hashtag called the aliens, which I'll put it right in here. Hashtag the aliens among us. That's going to be the name of the hashtag. So what we want you to do is just share your experiences. And if you haven't had any experiences that you can recall, we have created not just a contact with alien spread, but let's go over the actual spread. We're not going to do it today because we're each going to do our own VR follow-up video to this particular video. And that's all we're going to do for the month. Okay. And I also want to show you, I'm also going to do another tag if you want to partake and if you can partake. But so this is called the Missing Time Alien Memory Recovery Spread. So the first one is the veil, the first card. So the first card is what is blocking or obscuring my memory of contact. The second one is the trigger, what event, symbol, and I'll put it down below in the description once this is up, okay? Or sensation is tied to this forgotten moment. So we're not going to be asking ourselves about our experiences. We're going to be asking our subconscious to help us remember what experiences that we've had in more detail. So the third question is the presence card. Who or what was there during the contact, i.e., a species, an energy, an archetype? The fourth card is the environment. So where did this happen? Was it during your craft, or was it in a craft? Was it on the dreamscape? Was it in a physical location somewhere? Maybe something happened where it triggered a certain energy, like Sedona, let's say. You know what I mean? The fifth one is the method of contact. So how did they reach you? Was it a physical presence? Was it an astral? Was it a telepathic abduction, or was it a dream download? Those are just examples. The purpose, why they initiated the encounter. The memory fragment is the seventh one, the most crucial detail trying to resurface. The eighth question, the interference. So who or what erased or suppressed the memory and why? It could have been you that erased it, but it's finding out, asking your subconscious who and why. And 9, the integration. How to safely unlock, remember, and integrate this experience without trauma. Now, it does have a few little tips that it gave for this particular reading. So it said to pull clarifiers for the memory fragment, which was the 7th card, and the 8th card, which was the interference. It says these 2 cards often work like a lock and key. Okay. So it's going to be like unlocking that. The combination of those 2 is going to be unlocking that information. It says keep a journal handy after the reading, meditate or scry on any images that appear. If possible, do the spread during a Pisces or an Ophiuchus moon when psychic gates are wide open. I love that it put that for Ophiuchus, because I do believe that Ophiuchus is very much about past life dipping in and all that, right?
Absolutely.
And also use reverse cards as distortion signals. So like blocked energy that's coming in or distortions that are coming in.
Right.
To indicate implanted or altered memories.
That is excellent, man.
Now, I did also ask for a channeled invocation for alien memory retrieval. I'm going to read it to you, but also I'm going to put it in the description so that you can also maybe do this before your particular reading, okay, to help you. And this is what it is. It said spoken aloud in a calm, commanding tone. And it also has like a little ritual here, working with labradorite. What were you going to say, sweetie?
No, I was just wondering about your connect, because I'm seeing like waves and interference and stuff, and all I'm thinking is aliens. But
Oh, you are?
yes, I'm like, is anyone else seeing this?
I'm not saying it's aliens, but it's aliens, right?
I mean, you're literally right now vibrating.
Really?
Is
Are you
anyone
guys
else
seeing
seeing
that too?
this? No? I wonder if it's my
Okay.
connection, but nothing else is doing it. But I'm literally right now, your shoulders are like vibrating, and then it's like it cut like this, like a line of light, and I seen something, and it's still doing it. I don't know.
Huh?
Maybe it's just, I wish I could
Well, hot
record
diggity
that.
damn. They're trying to cause some distortion. They don't want you guys doing that. So that is your green light to do it.
Yeah, interference. They're, you know,
So it says this is the and I'll put it down in the description as well. This is the ritual, more or less, the preparation. Sit in a quiet space with your deck in front of you. Place labradorite above your deck for memory access, because they say labradorite to the third eye can actually unlock visions. It can open up your third eye, right? So selenite below it to keep it nice and cleansed. And then black tourmaline, put it at the base of your feet in order to keep you grounded during this. It says take 3 deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth, and visualize a sphere of crystalline white light around you. Okay. Are you picking up the distortion of the lights behind her? Maybe. Oh, maybe that's what it is. My one bookcase. It kind of does that until you get up close. I don't understand why it's doing that.
No, it's literally your hand, but it's okay.
Okay.
I think I'm just seeing it from it might be my phone.
Okay. This is the invocation, spoken aloud and in a calm, commanding tone. I stand within the circle of light and truth. What are you laughing at? Are you making fun of me?
Making fun of myself. I'm kind of like, because I think everything, is a
Tracers,
sign
right?
or aliens. Like,
so, by the authority of my higher self and in alignment with the source of all, I now call forth the seal to clear recall. Let every distortion, every implanted image, every veil placed upon my memory dissolve and return to the void from which it came. I open the sacred gates of my mind and soul, that only the true record of my experience may be shown to me. Guardians of time and star kin of my soul, if you have walked beside me, touched my spirit, or spoken to me in the spaces between worlds, I invite your memory to return in perfect clarity, free of fear, free of interference. No shadows may cross this circle. No deception may enter this reading. No being may pass who is not in service to my highest path. So it is sealed. So it is done. I will put that down below, as well as the spread and the suggestions, so that everybody can do a hashtag the aliens among us. Okay. And we want to hear about your experiences. We don't care whether or not you think that other people, or we care whether or not you feel like people are going to ridicule you. But I think the more that people open up about these things, the more other people who truly are experiencing these things as well, are going to feel free enough to open up about these things as well. So we have to also be catalysts to it, in my opinion. So there's that. We also wanted to show you the book, right? This book. Yes. And it is literally jam-packed full of different types of extraterrestrials. Okay. So anything and everything. You could do bibliomancy with this book if you wanted to, like what starseed lineage am I from, or what was my last one, or what was my most prevalent, whatever you want to do. But we also created decks. So this is a $14 deck, or $11. I don't remember how much it was. $12. I don't know. It's around there. It wasn't that expensive on Amazon. And I literally, let me show you. This is what it looks like on one side, right? They were all blank. So we went through and made you can do it as elaborate or as simple as you want. But I thought it was really cool because it's also showing astrological stuff on there. We are from the stars, okay? We're from the stars. So go through and it covers so many alien beings that you probably wouldn't even have thought of. Yeah, see, Cortney, she some of them are regular and some she's done the images. Now, are you planning on doing images for all of them eventually?
If I can, yeah. But for the most part, like I even just got index cards. If they don't have access to other things, I got it at the Dollar Tree, and I'm just creating mine out of that.
Exactly. Same wavelength there, right? Look at how many. A whole friggin' deck. That's how many there was, okay? Of different beings in here with descriptions. So let's find one just so you can see how this thing reads. All right. Okay, so we've got Alcyone Pleiadians. So here's the picture that it shows. And here's what it says. Let me get my glasses so I can see what it says. Where are my glasses?
What sold me on that book is when I got it and I was looking through it, and they have the photos of the hybrids in there too. That was on Gaia and other documentaries. I was like, oh yeah.
Uh-huh. Exactly. So, I'm sorry, maybe that was. All right, this is the Pleiadian. Sorry, the other one was different. This is the Pleiadian, the Alcyone. And this is what it says. Universal origin, the Alcyone Pleiadians come from Alcyone, the brightest star in the Pleiades star cluster in the northwest of the Taurus constellation. So there's another clue for you. If you have a strong placement in Taurus somewhere, that's Pleiadian, okay? There's Pleiades in that general direction. So that's another astrological thing. Physical characteristics. Alcyone Pleiadians are indistinguishable from Earth humans and appear Nordic. Females are 5'5" to 6 foot. Males are 5'7" to 6'2". They have an array of skin colors dependent on the dimensions that they live in. Their skin color ranges from white to pale blue, violet, or red. Belief system. They believe in the cosmic law of one. They connect to others through long embraces, pressing the heart, chest to chest. Oh, they press chest to chest. Allowing the feeling of unconditional love to pass from body to body. They attract positive experiences into their life because they are at one with their own soul, their culture, and universe. And then there's more. Their agenda, the technology that they have, their consciousness abilities, their dimensional capacity. And that's just one type of Pleiadian. And then you go into there's another Pleiadian type. So I highly recommend this book. I've read through it, and it is friggin' amazing. It's not one of those things that you memorize them all by. You don't. It's a reference book. So you get one of these cards doing a reading, right? Zeta Reticuli, and then you go to that and read about it. It's as simple as that. You don't have to spend big money. You can make it yourself, right? You can make it as elaborate or as simple as you want. That's it. So that's the kind of deck. And there's even 8I beings in here. Yeah. You're muted, sissy. She knows.
I know. That's why I was like, yeah, so even though you can't hear me, you could probably figure it out. Yeah.
Let me write it in here for you. It's the Extraterrestrial Species Almanac. And it was not that expensive.
I'm muted because my dog wants to be known.
And it talks about the ultimate guide to grays, reptilians, hybrids, and Nordics. And I think that I ended up writing down I think I only had a couple of cards left out of 80. So it's like a tarot size, really.
I'd like to get a couple of those for a few different things. Those are cool.
Yeah, and they've already got it back. So like I said, you can paint it up, or you know what, you could put this on it and then print out something and paste it over it if you wanted. You can put characteristics, where it comes from in the sky. You can do whatever the hell you want with these cards.
If you had a printer, you could literally have your AI create stuff, print it out, and put it on, have your own deck.
Exactly, based off of the descriptions that they have in here. Or even more, talk to your AI about them. When I was going through this, I was also talking to my AI and saying, can you tell me about the characteristics? And it was almost verbatim what it was saying in here about the characteristics, pulling from many different sources. So this also made me have more faith in the accuracy of the information that's in here, right?
Right.
It's all personal gnosis. It's not.
Absolutely. And the readings you offer, I had one and I referenced what it told me from my chart that you sent through with the starseed stuff. And I referenced to that book too about those different beings that came back in that.
Exactly. Thank you, Selena, for putting that in, sweetheart. She put it into the chat, the link. It's $17 on Amazon. And hi, Lindy. Hi, sweetheart. Hi, Elizabeth. So one other tag, if you want to do it, okay, is going to be, so the other one was the Aliens Among Us, which is going to be your version. Remember, you're not asking yourself about your experiences. You're asking your like repressed memory, you're asking your subconscious that carries that. Even though it's been suppressed, your subconscious knows, okay, with the spread. But the next one is going to be like hashtag my cosmic themed decks. So just show me all of the decks that are cosmic themed, meaning this could be angels, this could be demons, this could be even gods and goddesses, because if you deem gods and goddesses like aliens, like I do, then so that one's going to be show me your, or something shorter. What's something shorter? How about cosmic themed decks? So if you want to do the second hashtag, which I've got several, I've got several decks here that are cosmic themed, right? Right? So, exactly. I forgot I got that one too.
I know. It's where I seen it. And I was like, I gotta get it when I seen your video of it.
Chat GPT is what I use. Yes. And it just got upgraded to Chat GPT 5. So you could give descriptions to AI and see what AI comes up with and just glue them to the back of the deck. I mean, glue them to the deck. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Just a couple, exactly. I got just a couple. I've got actually way more than that too. If you really think about like angels and demons also, and gods and goddess energy, I probably got another 20 over there at least. Yes. Yes, love my Chat GPT. Absolutely. What else? 12 signs of the zodiac astrology design, Amazon. What is that? Astrology design. Can you explain what that is, sweetie? A book, I'm guessing. I meant work lurking, but working lurking has a nice ring to it. All right. So instead of even talking about our own experiences, we were possibly planning like a what do they call it? What is the name of that app? A CE5. We were thinking about doing a CE5, but it's really difficult for us to do it together because of like limitations on internet and stuff like that for us to be able to stream that live with everybody. And you kind of want to be outside to do that and watch up in the sky and all that. So, oh, that's the blanket deck of cards. Thank you, sweetheart. I appreciate that. So, anyone want to add anything about aliens?
No.
I can't wait to do the VR though. Like, I might do that today.
Right.
Like I can remember an actual abduction when I was a kid. And why I remember that, I couldn't tell you, but that alone makes me, or it convinces me that it wasn't just that time, because there were other times that were similar to that that I don't remember, but I remember after, and like little things that, like with my cat and all that. I told you about that. So it's like, I even have the little thing in my ankle, Yeah.
Right. I remember I didn't remember any, I'll say, abductions or anything until after I'd like met you guys and stuff, but I do remember one for sure. And not long after, it's not there anymore, but I pressed my neck and I was on the phone with Rachele and like I felt something in there and my hair literally stood up.
What the hell was that?
I was like, there's something here, but I did have pictures because I had marks on my body like blood in my bra where the 2 marks were, like there was punctures. But what's interesting at that time, like I had like problems in that area, like cysts or whatever. So I was like, are they helping me? What's going on? I don't remember how all that happened, but I do remember one for sure abduction. So I can't wait. I'd love to hear more about yours too, Carla, because
Exactly. And that's what those are there for. Share your stories or share that you haven't. And then do the spread if you want to do the spread to see what comes up, right?
yeah.
And I think we need to do something like that for dreams, because are you guys also having a lot of dreams that just, and you're trying to remember. You're like, I gotta remember. And then within
Yeah.
5 minutes, it's gone. What is up with
Yes.
that?
I think it's some sort of influence, truly,
Yes.
to keep me from remembering.
Some sort of distortion. Because what is our memory? Is our memory also a frequency? If we're tapping into like long form and short form, is that also a frequency?
Yeah.
Well, I have a little bit of a theory is that some things, just depending on if we're actually on the astral realm or our subconscious is trying to communicate with us, then maybe if it's something we're not remembering and we are on the astral plane, it's because maybe it's something that we can't really grasp in this, you know what I mean? Doesn't mean that we won't at a future date, but at this point, maybe it's just something that we can't truly grasp yet.
Maybe. Some of those blockages might just very well be us, right? We might be blocking ourselves because we're not ready yet. Maybe it's all part of integration of our whatever, awakening, awareness. Right? Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
She says, I recently bent over and felt a starburst in my lower back. Felt really lovely, actually, but then I had severe back pain for like 4 days.
That's weird. Like that sticks out to me because I remember Josh, my son, during all this time when all this was happening, and it was around 2020, he was having back issues because when he was a kid, a mattress had fallen on his back and hurt it. Well, he woke up with a mark like this across his back. It looked like a surgical scar, but healed. And I'm like, he's never had surgery. He remembered that he believes they took him, and he said they put a glowing orb inside his back, and it has not hurt since. And it reminded me of a star. And so when she said that, I'm automatically like thinking, what's up with that? Like, what is?
Uh-huh. She says, I'm back to being able to go back into the dreams and getting the symbols, and I can get up, go to the restroom, and go back to my dreams. Like I paused it. I have done that before. I used to be able to do that because, I mean, as I get older, sometimes I'm up 2 and 3 times in the night. It depends on how much I drink during the day, right? My bladder just don't last that long. So, and I would be able to pick it right up, but not, it's not been a common thing lately.
Yeah, lately it's been, I'm like, I know this is important. I'll wake up, I'll go to grab my journal, and it's like gone. And it's like I might be able to still see certain images, but I can't even make it out. And I'm like, dang it, like I really needed to know that.
So we need to make a really good spread also for like dream recall.
Dream recovery.
Right.
Yeah.
Or just memory.
That'd be awesome.
Memory recall in general, but be careful what you ask for, because sometimes once you know, you can't unknow it, right? And depending on whether or not you're the one that blocked the memory, I would just say be really cautious with that kind of work. So
yeah,
but that's pretty much it, guys. Thank you everyone for sharing this time with us. That is how we want to roll with this month's work. Tell us your stories. Do the spread if you dare do the spread, right? I do. I'm going to dare to do it. And if you want to do the hashtag cosmic themed decks, show us all your decks that are cosmic themed and tell us why you think it's cosmic themed, right? And there's no right or wrong. It's all perception. So, and it's fun. Who doesn't want to have an excuse to show their decks, right?
Exactly.
Yes.
And I want to see them. So, let's do it.
Exactly.
Do it.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for joining us. We love you very much. We hope that you enjoy doing a little bit of this alien discovery. And also let us know, do you think that they are among us right now? Yes, they are. Because I think I'm an alien. I think Carla's an alien. And I think Cortney's an alien. I think all of you in the chat, you're all aliens.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Or hybrids.
Yes,
Love you
definitely.
guys.
Yeah, maybe.
I can do it better than this one. Live long and prosper, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Why is it not? It's not ending.